30th January marks the death anniversary of two great personalities, Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, and Venerable Mother Mary Ward, the foundress of our institute, who were truly the seekers of truth and doers of justice. The fundamental principles that Mahatma Gandhi taught us by his life are truth and non-violence. For he said, "Truth is my God, non-violence is the means of realizing Him." The story of their lives is a story of a quest to build a society where men and women, rich and poor, experience an equal God-given dignity, freedom, equality, and justice. Despite the challenges, obstacles, struggles, and imprisonment, both remained undeterred, convinced of their vision, lived and died for others, bearing testimony to the words of Jesus, "I have come that you may have life, life in abundance." To love the poor, persevere in the same, live, die, and rise with them was all the aim of Mary Ward, who, having lived 60 years and 8 days, died on 30th January 1645. These words inscribed on the tombstone of Mary Ward by her own dear companions who had known her heart and soul bear witness to the inspiring life of Mary Ward. Today, as we commemorate the death anniversary of our great mother, every son and daughter of Mother Mary Ward all over the world is called upon to look into her inspiring life and be enlightened. The example of their lives invites each one of us at this time of history to build bridges, to stand for truth, to work for unity, and thus build a world more beautiful, peaceful, loving, and caring. On behalf of our manager, Sister Marriott, Principal, Sister Lizzie, and the entire SMCIC family, I take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Parveen and the students of Class 9C for presenting this digital assembly creatively, meaningfully, and in an inspiring manner. May the teaching of Mahatma Gandhi and our Mother Mary Ward enlighten our minds, enliven our lives, and help us to contribute the best of ourselves to build a world where peace, love, justice, and reconciliation reign. May God bless each one of us.
Good morning, respected sisters, teachers, parents, viewers, and my dear friends. 30th January is a very important day as it marks two important events. We commemorate the death anniversary of our foundress, Venerable Mary Ward, and Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते.
Mahatma Gandhi awakened the masses through the strength of ahimsa by Satyagraha movement. He made the people realize the importance of freedom and unity, a true, just and equitable society. He strongly believed Hate the sin, not the sinner.
Mother Mary Ward devoted her entire life to work for the greater honor and glory of God and always prayed to the Lord to show her the way, as she knew that God would make all things beautiful in His time. We dedicate this beautiful song to our Mother Mary Ward and praise and honor.
In His time, in His time, He makes all things beautiful. In His time, Lord, please show me every day as You're teaching me Your way, that You do just what You say in Your time, in Your
Venerable Mary Ward was a rainbow of hope, love, and aspirations, not only for the people of that time, but even today. She was a very progressive lady who thought much ahead of her time and was an inspiration for many people.
Mary Ward, our foundress, was born on 23rd January 1585 into a noble, devoted Catholic family in Yorkshire, England. At the time of fierce persecution of Catholics by Protestant authorities. Those were the times when women were considered inferior to men and were not given any right to education or social freedom. She came as a rainbow with a silver lining and with her companions established schools for girls across England and Europe.
Mother Mary Ward had all the Vibgyor qualities that make a rainbow and was an excellent team leader. The Vibgyor colors of the rainbow reflect the 7 key attributes of Mother Mary as a leader of that time. Let us now understand the meaning of each letter of the Vibgyor, beginning with the letter V.
V. The letter V stands for verity. Verity was Mary's hallmark. Verity means being truthful, one of the most important qualities of Mother Mary Ward. Mary Ward says, "I hope by God's grace, if we love verity, fervor will not decay. She also gave a beautiful maxim: love and speak the truth at all times.
The letter I stands for inclusion. Mary Ward was a great leader who was an inclusionist. She included new ideas, different people, and working styles. She embraced different points of views, accepted shortcomings, and included all in her common mission.
The letter B stands for belief. A famous Walt Disney quote says, first think, second believe, third dream, and finally dare. Mary Ward did the same. First, she had a vision from God which guided her, and then she had a firm belief in what she was doing was God's will. She dreamt about it and finally dared to go against the male-dominated society and worked hard to change the stern system. She believed in the beauty of what she was creating and in its ultimate rewards.
The letter G stands for glad. When we lead a team, sometimes we may have experienced that the fervor of the team gets lost, maybe because of failures, criticisms, or mistakes. To keep herself going, Mary Ward got totally dependent on God and kept her companion spirit glad and cheerful. To keep them motivated and going, she gave the maxim, show yourself at all times, glad and cheerful, for Almighty God loves a cheerful giver.
The letter Y stands for youthful. Mary Ward was very young, at both heart and mind. She was much ahead of her time. She thought of upliftment and education of women at a time when women were thought to be inferior to men. She was a true leader as she focused on a mission and lived and died for it.
The letter O stands for owner. Mary Ward was an incredible team builder as she owned her team, however imperfect they were, and treated them as a family. Hers was an open circle that had free and open access to God as well as one another in spite of their differences, and it is the acceptance and appreciation of these differences that made them feel that they belonged to a family.
The letter R stands for responsibility. Mary Ward was a true leader as she was ready to take the responsibility of her own actions. She always thought about the future. Her vision about her mission was very clear. She took responsibility of her mistakes as well as her actions.
She was a lady full of valor, ignorant about happenings of future. She had no fear of getting defeated. A mission for the dignity of women she completed.
Devoting herself to the service of mankind, love and speak the truth, she always would remind. Setting up girls' schools and institutions, her strive for equality was much a contribution.
She believed these are the women of today who strive for excellence in every way, and for them she gave the initiative so that society could be a better place to live.
She challenged to break the fetters of society, yet to be devoted in service of humanity, to face the world with our heads held high, and should always be true until we die.
Mary Ward's life's purpose and goal, summed up on her gravestone, points to the fire that burned within her for God's service. To love the poor, persevere in the same, live, die, and rise with them, was all the aim of Mary Ward, who lived 60 years and 8 days and died on 30th January 1645.
Mary Ward died surrounded by a small band of faithful companions who shared her vision. She bequeathed her vision to these gallant women, because of whom the institution survived, and no doubt it was God's work too.
On 19 December 2009, His Holiness Pope Benedict XVI formally promulgated the decree of recognizing the heroic virtues demonstrated by Mary Ward and thereby conferring on her the title Venerable.
We very specially pray for her that she may soon be recognized as a saint.
Let us invoke God's blessings on her and pray to the Almighty to bless our dear mother and all her children with peace and tranquility.
Even after 400 years, her foundation lives on worldwide in 44 countries across 5 continents under name Congregation of Jesus and Institute of Blessed Virgin Mary with about 3,000 members.
Mary, Mary, what ever-present, ever new. Help us, your loving children, we now and forever in eternity. Do good and do it well, you said. Do your best and God will help you. Suffering without sin is no burden. Love and speak the truth at all times. Mary, Mary, what ever-present, ever new. Help us, your loving children, we now and forever in eternity.
Today, we commemorate the death anniversary of 2 great people, Mahatma Gandhi, who is also known as the father of a nation, and Venerable Mary Ward, who is the foundress of a school. They both are indeed a great source of inspiration and have many similarities. Both were excellent team leaders, exemplary human beings who showed the way of achieving seemingly impossible objectives with their passive aggression and ruthless perseverance. Their adversaries opposed them, refuted them, threw hurdles in their path, mocked them, but eventually they won by their grit, determination, and willpower to the extent that they were willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good of humanity and upliftment of those who were less privileged. We must learn from these qualities and imbibe them in ourselves in a consistent perseverance to be the best versions of ourselves and to be an example for others. Thank you.
As it is rightly said, gratitude is the complexion of thankfulness. On behalf of Class 9C, I feel privileged to propose the vote of thanks today. First and foremost, I would like to thank our principal, respected Sister Lissy, our manager, respected Sister Marriott, and our headmistress, respected Sister Renu, for providing us this platform to present the digital assembly. A very heartfelt thanks to Sister Cecilia for the beautiful message that she gave in the beginning of the assembly. I would like to thank Lynette ma'am for the musical support and Samuel sir for the technical support and guidance. I would also like to thank all our dear parents for their support. A very hearty thanks to all my dear classmates for all the efforts that they took to make this assembly a successful one. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our class teacher, Ma'am Parveen Grover, for all her unconditional support and guidance and to always be available for us at every time. Thank you to all.